activity going on over by the West Sallyport. Last time I was here, it was pretty interesting. I've had a... Did you hear that noise? Sound like something's over there. Let's go check it out.
All right, I'd like to welcome you here to Fort Mifflin. Fort Mifflin was your longest active military fort in United States history, active from Revolutionary War through the Korean War. During the siege of 1777, you had Patriots held the British off here for 6 weeks after the Battle of Brandywine, and when Philadelphia was then captured by Howe. So you had 250 men out of 400 that were killed here at the fort. During the Civil War, this was a military prison housing Union and Confederate prisoners and political civilian prisoners. Conditions were very horrific. Disease ran through, so besides prisoners, you had part of the garrison getting sick and died. So you had women, children dying here also, along with the men. We are right next to the Delaware River, so we get drowning victims here at the fort. Just a couple years ago, a Eagle Scout project, the scouts were here for the weekend, low tide. They wandered down the river and they actually found a lower human jawbone. Now, we're standing in front of the casemates or bomb proofs. When this was rebuilt under John Adams, these would have been the bomb shelters for the troops and storage. And then during the Civil War, this became a military prison, and these became the prison cells. So we'll come on in and show you around. This is called Casemate 1. This was where the Confederate prisoners were held. It would have been just dirt floors, not cement floors, no beds. Prisoners would have just been sleeping on the floor.
What kind of experiences have you had in this location?
In this location? Well, I've heard footsteps going back and forth over in the hallway. You hear moaning and screaming in here. I've seen shadow figures run all through around here. People, when there's a fire going in the fireplace, people have actually seen a figure kneeling down by the fire to keep warm. This is Casemate 5. This is where the Union prisoners were kept. Some people consider this one of the most haunted places in the fort because there's a lot of activity in here. There seems to be a spirit that likes blonde females. Blondes come in, they get their hair stroked. There's one particular spirit that's very aggressive. He identifies himself as the judge. One of the political prisoners was a sitting judge from Clearfield County, Pennsylvania, that was imprisoned here. So, the judge, he greets me as F.U. Greg or Greg F.U. He drops the F-bomb all the time.
So last time I was here, I pretty much got electrocuted by the door, which sounds crazy, but we're gonna see if we can replicate that exact instance. Because, ironically, I was not recording on the camera during that time. This is the powder mag, and this is where they store the gunpowder. EMF meter. Did you hear that? It sounded like a frog. Anyway, this is where I had a really crazy experience, so I want to see if maybe I could replicate that same thing. So I'm going to get a Tesla coil. Okay, I'm going to also set up a couple of devices so that I can see if any activity's happening. This here. Alright, I'm going to turn on the Tesla coil. Okay. Do you hear that? Did you hear that? So we still have the Tesla coil going. And what I did was essentially go over to this door and said, I'm gonna let the British in. I'm gonna open this door and I'll let the British in. How does that make you feel? I can't open it now, of course. It's not gonna open. I don't want to break it, but that's exactly what it did. And when I did that, I touched the door and a jolt of electricity, like a heavy jolt, went through my arm and down my leg. Now, I did have the Tesla coil on, but it was far enough away where it wouldn't have hit me, so I don't know what happened there. So let's see. Are you in here with us? Oh crap, there's a lot of stuff on the floor. Can you tap? Can you tap on the walls? Did you stay in this barrack protecting the fort at this West Sally port? Those frogs keep getting me. Alright, let's go to another place.
Over to casemate 11, solitary confinement.
Okay. And what exactly happened there?
Well, William Howe was incarcerated in there. He was a private in the Union Army that was charged with desertion and murder, and he tried then to lead an escape out of casemate 11, and then he got thrown in tried to get an escape out of casemate 5, thrown in casemate 11, solitary. Then he was taken to Eastern State, tried, convicted of murder and desertion, brought back here to the fort and died. So his spirit seems to be still here and hanging out in casemate 11.
Now, this wasn't discovered until recently, right?
Yeah, about 15 years ago. It was buried when they built the torpedo magazine there. They buried it and put the new gun batteries on there. So the groundskeeper was doing some cutting the grass and his foot fell through. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, be careful with the camera. Here, watch your step. Okay.
You see that little red brick
Yeah.
that was thrown at me?
When? Recently?
Yeah, I had couple down here. There's 4 people that hit the wall. That guy was sitting right there. And that's what.
Jeez. Is there anybody in this room with us right now? Can you tap on the wall or maybe throw a brick at us? You're used to being pretty quiet in here, I assume. Did you throw this brick? I'm gonna turn the lights off. We go full dark. Oh, where's that? You're in night vision, right? Yeah. Do we have these on? Where's that? Buttons. There we go. Can't see anything. Are you in this room with us? Jeez, sorry. Get settled. Okay. What is going on? Can you please make this device go off? I really want to hear your voice. You could try to whisper into these microphones. We should be able to hear you. What do you want to tell 4.4 million people? Maybe more. Do you have a message for them? I hear like singing or something. Is there anybody in this room with us right now? If so, can you maybe tap on the wall? Or touch one of these walls, touch one of us? Alright, so we're going in this torpedo magazine. Spiders everywhere. Jeez, this is ridiculous. I think that goes down. Just water. I'm gonna try and tap on some stuff. Oh, this is pretty cool. Watch your step.
So this is the commandant's house, or the commander. It was called commandant because this was always naval jurisdiction, except for when it was a military prison. So they would have lived here with this family. And the second floor would have been the servants. There was a fire back in 1980, and that's what the condition it's in right now. But people here knocking, bricks being moved around. People have actually seen the commandant. So, some good activity in here. You hear footsteps above you walking, and there's no second floor now. So, it's always a nice little spot.
Yeah, this is there's not much left to do. This place is pretty much a shell. Alright. Well, I guess that should be a good test of how that we can do ASMR here. Yeah.
Choopy Roopy.
Whispering.